The next song in the listing, we have Maeko and Hadji Gaviota with their new song, Capricorn.
And it's a fact that my mind can be a dangerous neighborhood, but I still walk in it late at night. And all I ask, don't box me in, I don't do labels good, cause I tried that once upon a time. Hey.
Phoenix, thoughts?
Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. Mike's giving this away because he knows how I feel about the track, and
Yep.
I've enjoyed the track so much that I've had to talk about it off air to Mike already because I was very, very surprised with how much I enjoyed it. Honestly, because I think this is something that this has its hip hop influence, but I think sonically sits in a certain place that I'm not usually listening to. And again, I think Mike knows this, but for the viewers' sake, like, I'm a hip hop head through and through. I love rap, and I love to be a rapper as well. But I do consider myself just a big music fan in general, and because I also love art. I'm just in a general sense that I can appreciate things that maybe aren't what I'm gonna play all day by myself, but still see the value in that. You know what I mean? I'm rambling at this point, but Maeko, Capricorn, with Hadji Gaviota.
Hadji Gaviota.
Hadji Gaviota. They killed this shit. All right.
That's fire. That's a good song.
Killed
It's a really
this,
good
okay?
song.
The beat itself, it kind of gives me a slide Frank Ocean vibe. It's definitely a
Yeah.
summertime vibe. And Mako's, also have heard of Maeko before, thanks to Turntable Teachers, all of the good finds. And I've heard him before. He didn't quite really stick with me last time, but the beat's colorful. It's really, really fun. And Maeko has this cadence, right? He has this tone that's super unique. Like, it sounds poppy, indie, rocky.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds, you know what I mean? It has that vibe. But again, a lot of these flows right here and the feel of this and these drums definitely has its hip hop influence. But I can say that to death about everything. But man, just when he starts off, I might dye my hair orange. I'm like, okay, what is going on in here? And I gotta say, dude, this is where I love stuff that's weird. I love stuff that's different. You know what I mean? And I like, I think that kind of line, I might dye my hair orange, is such a good hook for the beginning of, to get somebody interested. You know what I mean? It's such a good hook in, like, why is that?
Why would you
even?
do that? Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Yeah.
Why are you picking orange? But orange fits, brother.
Yeah,
Orange fits, and as the song builds on, it's a whole lot of, I might dye my hair orange. I might have a garden in the springtime. I'm tired of the concrete grind. Like, it all builds up of, like, coming to ultimately this kind of, like, this chorus that's just like, yo, let's kick back. It's definitely, like I said, a summertime vibe. Let's kick back, let's chill, let's have a good time, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna refer to these lines, but I could kick them off the top of my head, but I want to make sure I get them right. And it's a fact that my mind can be a dangerous neighborhood, but I still walk in it late at night. Oh my God. And all I ask is don't box me in, because I don't do labels good. I tried that once upon a time. Oh my, this man's spitting. This man is spitting. But it's with this, like, this very unique cadence as well, where it sounds, he has a higher pitched voice. His tone is, that's where it kind of sounds indie rocky, you know what I mean? And, dude, I'm just trying to say, he has a sound. He has a unique sound. And these bars and these lines were so catchy and kind of just sticky and specific. And I'm just, trying to make a larger point where I think generally with this kind of voice, you just hear it on a different kind of cut, you know what I mean? But I love that he chose this kind of sound. Like, this is definitely finna play at my cookout, you know what I mean? And then to get to the second half, I know I've kind of been long-winded about this. I apologize, Mike.
You're good.
To get to the second half with the Hadji Gaviota verse, that man kills it. That man kills the feature. He kills the feature. I have one caveat, you know what I mean? Especially if we're, I'm keeping it a buck, right? Like, and I let Washi and Cameron and Dolo have it, which I really apologize about. But I gotta keep it 100 all the way around. I didn't like Hadji's opening line. All right,
that was my favorite part. That was
line.
What?
That was your favorite line?
That was sick.
Okay. I thought you knew I was a bagatarius.
Okay, all right, but you know I like puns, bro, and that's not why I liked it.
You like puns.
I liked it.
Like puns.
I liked it because of the dream, like the dream line. I like that. That's the part. So more. Okay, maybe I like the second line then. That's my favorite.
Right.
Because then he brings it back. If he left it there, hold on. If he left it there, I would have had a point. You would have had a point. The fact that he brings it into the. But you threw it in the bag like Tyrius. I was like, all right, that's pretty
okay.
clever.
I'm excited to hear you talk about that because maybe I didn't catch the reference there. I promise you, Mike. I played this track in front of some ladies this weekend too because that's how much I liked this track and I felt like it was a good vibe.
Good for you. That was a good move on your end.
They even pointed it out too, like the Bagatarius line, and I was like, "Yeah, threw me in the back like Terrius." And I remember asking them, like, "Y'all know what that means?" Like, no, it didn't land. So I'm excited to hear if Mike caught it. You know what I mean? Off rip, I thought that line I could do with that. It was a little corny, my guy. It was a little, and I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a Bagatarius too. You know
I am too.
I'm
Me
actually
too.
a Sag.
Me too.
Yeah. So it was made for me. I could have done without it, but. Moving on, and I'll say this: it was memorable. It sure is memorable.
Since we're talking,
That you knew I was a Bagatarius. Then you threw me in the back like Terrius. Okay, but moving on from that, like the flows, the melodies, and he kind of harmonizes at the end, and also references the harmony inside the verse. I just thought it was so smooth. It all really fit. My favorite line off of the that track, or off of his feature when he comes on. Is I don't really want to taste your tears, but I swear they go great with mine.
Yeah.
I thought that was just poetic, and I thought he kind of fit the vibe because he has a much smoother, kind of more traditional R&B-ish, popish voice and cadence on this track that I think fits with what you would think an instrumental like this would call for, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Which is, again, I think in beautiful contrast to Maiko's unique fucking weird voice that I love so much. So I thought it played off of each other really well because he kind of has this laid back, smooth delivery to anything, and I think his lyrics were just as poetic as Maiko's. I was talking about how Maiko's lyrics were sticky, unique, and specific, and they were just poetic. I love the garden in the springtime, too tired of the concrete grind. I think that kind of says a lot more than what it says on the surface.
Right.
As well as this line. I don't really want to taste your tears, but I swear they go great with mine. That had me wanting to hug somebody tight. Like, I don't know that. So overall, man, you could tell I really, really dig this track, and I ain't just saying that to say it.
Well, we know.
We added to my shit quick. How you feel, Mike?
This is yeah. I mean, of course, I know you're being honest because you always are. You're always brutally honest, and that's a good reason why I always have you. I keep you around, bro, because I like your brutal honesty a lot, and I admire it for sure. I have agreed with a lot of the things that you said. Just for reference too, I also wrote an article for this song. It's exclusively on Mass Music Radio. You can check that out. Link it in the description. So shout out to the Mass Music Radio guys. But dude, I agree. I mean, the soundscape overall of this song, it's just synonymous with like the impending spring season and summer seasons of the East Coast. It's just what it sounds like. You know what I mean? It really captures those feelings of warmth and brightness, and it's interesting because Maiko's done a lot of like the really melancholy sad boy stuff in the past, like specifically with his last Good Grief EP, and then even a little bit too with Lifelike, even though that was a little bit more of, I would say, like a glistening sort of he really spit his shit on that song. Like he went in and fucking rapped on that song. I love that song, and that obviously made it my top 20 from last year. I would be surprised.
Check out more Maeko after this.
Life Like with Sleeping Bella. I think I talked about it on the last episode
I do
too.
remember that. Yep,
That's the one.
I do remember
So
that.
I love that song. So put it this way, I would be stunned if this is not on my year end. Like, it's that good. I like this song that much. I love the guitar driven sort of indie pop melodies that he was playing with the instrumental. I love that shit. I think DeFrace did that. Did part of the production. DeFrace and somebody else. And I'm whoever else it is, I sincerely apologize that I can't remember off the top of my head. But it just feels like a breath of fresh air, right? It's like a rebirth almost in a sense, and it's smooth and sultry. And I love how versatile Maeko is with like you said, with his music, and it is very recognizable, his voice, and the lines are super sticky. They really stand out. I wrote extensively about the neighborhood line that you had mentioned because
I love that line, dude.
oh, it's just so like the imagery is amazing. I love the metaphor and just all of it. You know me.
Yes, the imagery. Yes.
Imagery. And me being an English teacher, right? I'm into that shit. I love the imagery. I love metaphors.
Yes.
It's all in my bag,
Snaps. Right? What do you think he meant when he said that? You know what I mean?
You got the poetry snaps thing down. And speaking of bag, so for context, right? So what I interpreted from Hadji, who by the way is a New York artist actually, so it's really cool that he was able to jump on it. So we're getting a little bit outside Massachusetts, but of course he's a feature, and I really enjoy the fact that he brought in the Dream on that, like the Dream reference, because I guess the Dream's first name is Tyrius or something like that. Tyrius something, I can't remember his last name. So that was in reference to him with that. So again, I can see the maybe how like it's kind of a little corny or whatever, like the Bagatarius or whatever. But you know me, I like that shit. So like it's just I'm one of the most I love my dad jokes. You know what I'm saying? I'm like I'm one of the dudes that's not a dad that loves dad jokes. It's just who I am.
Yeah,
so like for me, I thought it was a play on words, and then it got a little deeper quicker, right? It got like a lot more, like you said, poetic and more deep. So like
definitely,
I almost feel like they both came in to their verses with something that was very, very, very memorable, whether you fucked with it or not. You know what I mean? Definitely. So like with
very
Orange
playful, very playful,
both
too.
very
like
playful,
a lighthearted kind of opening line, which I did think went well.
Yeah, and I think with Hadji specifically, that's what really impressed me so much about it, because his ability to sort of I'm guessing, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he would have heard Mako's opening verse before he put his in. And for him to have the wherewithal to be like, and again, just the musical genius of Hadji in a sense, where it's like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna play off of Mako's verse and come in with a line that's a little bit, fun and lighthearted, right, to sort of match that, and then get a lot deeper, just like Maeko did. So
definitely,
but it's all surrounding this very like, just warm, bright, poppy sound. I mean. It's joyful. It's serene. This should be a staple in everyone's spring, summertime playlist, no matter where you live, whether you're in Massachusetts or not.
For real.
There is, and I love that you played this for ladies, because you were kind of talking a little bit off air. You were saying like, yo, I can't even like say that tell my boys that I like this, and now it's out there. Now it's out there. Your boys know
it's
that
out there for sure. Right,
it's out there.
Well,
it's out there.
I was saying, this isn't. I did tell you. That's funny. I forgot I told you that. Mike's talking about. I called him off air. I was telling him, not called him, but we were talking about this, whatever. And I tell him, yo, that Maeko Capricorn track is tough. And I was like, it's not something I'm going to play with the guys. It might not necessarily be something I will play with the boys. But, if you're at the cookout, or you got a couple, lovely women with you, I think that fits the vibe. And
it's a vibe.
The fact that I can also really cling to the lyrics with with the beautiful imagery and symbolism and all of it, just so very vivid, that is what makes it a perfect cut for me.
It's a good song. It's a really good song. Big shout out to Maeko and Hadji Gaviota. Check out my write up if you guys could take a chance to if you really enjoy this song. And I would certainly play it back, like I said, in the spring, the summertime. So huge shout out to those guys. Great song.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So just to wrap up, we haven't even commented on the hook. Like, the hook is just catchy and so buttery smooth.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Flying in, like he said, take a swim, breaststroke, flying in, West Coast. Like, it all flows so good. It's like, It's one of those tracks that I think, especially when you already have the context of this being like a local artist or an indie, you know, a small artist, it gave me one of those moments where you're like, oh, I forgot. This is not somebody that's like a AAA or like, you know, a big time national act. Like, cause that's how smooth from beginning to end it is. But then again, it has that uniqueness of just Maeko's voice, the content, the I don't know, just how poetic it is from beginning to end. It's clearly could be something you could have in the background, or you could be a nerd like us and dissect it. And like, I think it'll, you know, you'll see a lot from either of those sides.
Exactly. And so huge shout out to both these guys for one hell of a track, and certainly one that's going to be in heavy rotation for me in the upcoming months as the weather gets nicer. It dropped at the perfect time, right? As the weather's getting nicer and things like that.
Yeah, it's perfect. And I feel like I can't wait to like play that sleeper. Like, you know what I mean? In case people don't know it, when I put it on, I know it's going to get a reaction. I know it is. I already know the words too. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All of it. It's a very memorable song. And I feel like I agree. Same thing. It's like, I love those moments when you can play songs like that and you know it's going to get a good reception. So totally.